This podcast is supported by FX's English Teacher. Last year's critically acclaimed series returns to follow Evan, Gwen, and Marky as they vie for their students' divided attention. See why Cosmopolitan called its premiere season a masterclass of comedy, while Glamour raved it's the year's funniest and most heartwarming new comedy series. FX's English Teacher returns September 25th on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes, where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, pretty much long story short, this is going to be a I don't condone violence episode because, yeah, man, you know, the way that Charlie Kirk went out, nobody deserves to go out like that. Even the times where people were trying to assassinate Trump, I don't want that. And it's not because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm going to get to why I just think that it's a bad idea if Trump supporters and Trump himself, if something were to happen to them in a negative way. Because, yeah, man, you know, it's one of those things. Everybody deserves to live out their life to the fullest. You know, like, it doesn't matter what your political views are. Like, yeah, if you out here wronging people and doing all this other stuff, it's pretty much like a self-inflicted thing. Like, you're shortening your life, you know, so... But, and that's the thing where it's like, that's how I look at a lot of Trump and his supporters, is that you're putting a lot of negativity out there in the world to where it's pretty much putting a timer on your life. You know, whether it's just, you know, something that happens naturally or somebody's trying to take you out. And that's the thing with, like, Trump supporters, what they need to understand is that your words do damage. Like, the stuff that you say, the things that you promote, how you guys carry yourself. And then I feel like Trump supporters, they'll hear that and then they'll try to flip it back on me. And I'm like, fam, that's throughout the times, I was born in 96. I don't think I have, from Bush, because what I was, 96, Bill Clinton was in office. I didn't really know too much about politics. Like, I didn't even know what life was. I was like, I was a baby, you know. But anyways, when Bush was in office, yeah, there was some whispers and there was some, you know, like words going around that Bush wasn't fond of black people and stuff. And then after that, it was Barack Obama. And I'm like, okay, you know, Barack Obama being the first black president, I'm like, that we just made history, you know. And then it seemed like after that, when Trump had started talking about getting in office and all this other stuff, like how did he build up his campaign? You know, by tearing other people down, talking about Mexico, talking about China. And then his second time around, it's like he talking about what was it, Haitian people are eating cats and dogs or something like that, or he would like it was either that or illegal immigrants or whatever he wants to call it and stuff. But I'm like, fam, you're having to tear down people to bring you and your people up. I ain't never seen that before in politics. You know, like, yeah, I get, like, with politics that there's always there's the Democrat and then there's the Republican, but it's not like they're having to, I guess, like, you know, for their campaign run and stuff, when they be doing them commercials, they were like, you know, Obama said he's gonna do this. Well, while he's doing this, I'm gonna be doing this, and that and stuff. Yeah, you'll see that, but it's like with Trump, it's just, man, you know, that's one thing about it, was that when he started running for office the first time around, I didn't take it seriously, you know. And then once when he did get into office, it was always just with the first time around, and then the second time, I felt like that feeling then doubled, where something good is not going to come out of this. Like, I don't know if it's going to be a domino effect with our country. I don't know if it's going to be me personally. I don't know what the situation is going to be, but I just know that him being in office, I'm not having a good feeling about it. And then, you see all the stuff that's happening the second time around. Like, I feel like, there were some things happening the first time around. Second time around, though, I feel like it was much more worse. Seeing it where people are trying to assassinate Trump, his supporters. Because, after, like, it seemed like after his, like, time in the office when it ended, the raid on the Capitol, him and his supporters, but, when they had stormed the Capitol. What else? And it's like, then you just kind of hear like some things here and there and stuff. Then it's like, all right, second time around he gets in office, then the assassination attempt. What else? And then it's like, supporters of even back when the Capitol, storming the Capitol and stuff, seeing it where his supporters died, the assassination attempt, seeing it where his supporters had died. And then it's like now, even just with this Charlie Kirk situation. So let's start talking about that, because I feel like that people are going to hear this and they're going to be thinking like, oh, I'm just going to say a bunch of disrespectful things about Charlie Kirk. I'm not. I promise you guys, for as long as this episode is, it's recorded, and after the episode, I am not going to say anything disrespectful about Charlie Kirk. Now, I will say that I don't agree with this stuff, because there were videos that were coming out after he had passed, where I guess people were trying to change the perspective. Like, it's like, oh, if you feel bad that he died, well, watch this video. I seen the videos that were being posted about him. Still, at the end of the day, the video that I watched of him getting shot and killed, that's one of those videos that a person don't need to see. I wish I hadn't have seen that video. I wish I hadn't clicked on his name and seen what was going on. And and it was just one of those things where I'm like, man, that is traumatizing. But so anyways, I seen when his name was trending. I didn't know what was going on. I just seen that Charlie Kirk was trending. So I think once when I had kind of started like just, going throughout social media and stuff, then that's when I had seen a screenshot where they were talking about like, the notorious Trump ally or something shot during a rally or whatever he had going on. But anyways, so then that's when I went on Twitter. And then I'm like, oh, this was that name that was trending. Clicked on it. I seen the video where it was like, I think it was because in case if you like, because I definitely don't recommend you guys watch the video. I'm going to describe the video for you. I guess like if stuff like that doesn't really affect you, like watching people getting killed and all that stuff, then watch it at your own risk. Viewer discretion is definitely advised. Like it's one of those videos where I'm like, man, even the times before where I have seen like traumatizing videos, I have to say that this is definitely one of those videos where I'm like, I wish I hadn't have seen that. Yeah, maybe like a movie, fictional. Yeah, like in the movies when they showcase stuff like that. That's honestly what it looked like. It looked like a scene out of a movie. That's how bad it was. So anyways, but he's sitting down, he's talking, and somebody had asked him a question. He responded, he leaned back, all of a sudden, shot in the neck. And you just seen, like, like if you get a Dasani or Aquafina, like one of those types of like water bottles, and just squeeze it, like maybe like slowly squeeze it and stuff, but overall hold it at an angle and then just squeeze the water bottle. That's what it looked like, after he had got shot and the blood just started spraying out his neck. Like, that's how bad it was. That's how bad the shot was. Blood was spraying out of his neck, and so you see where he kind of like seized up, and I think that was just, like his body was, it did shut down. I think it was like, it was trying to like fight the, the pain and stuff. But it was just the damage had been done. He seized up, fell over, and then then the video it ended. And I'm like, man, I get that he's a Trump supporter, but at the same time, he didn't deserve to lose his life, and that's one of those things where I'm like, I look at it like this, because I did make a video, and that's why I'm doing this podcast episode, because I don't know when exactly I will post that video. But I'm like, let me just hurry up, do a podcast episode, and kind of just mock what I had said in that video. But anyways, I just felt like that's gonna do more damage than helping this country, because my thing is this. I was gonna say that too, is that what if this man would have changed at some point in time? Like, the guy that had shot and killed him, like, you didn't give this guy time to change. Like, you had it built up, because I guess so they did catch the guy today. They did do that. And I guess, yeah, they say he was at a dinner table and was talking about how much he hated this Charlie Kirk guy. I'm like, fam, I don't like people either, but I'm not gonna be out there waiting for them to just be minding their own business and shoot and kill him. The thing is this though, there have been times where I have been so mad at people where I wanted to fight them. I'm like, no, if I see you, it's on sight. You put your hands on me, it's on sight. You know, like whatever the case may be, if I remotely see you in the vicinity of my region, in my area, I am going to put hands on you. But that's the thing though, I don't want to kill him, alright? I don't want to do that. That's not in me. I'm not gonna, my thing is this, especially when it's like they're not in a place to defend themselves. You know, it ain't like they're threatening my life. Yeah, they might say some crazy things, they might do some crazy things, but my thing is this, if I could go to sleep, wake up, and not be worried about this person, my life is good. You know, so that's why I'm like, with this Charlie Kirk situation, the guy that killed him, I'm like, fam, it just doesn't even make sense on why he killed him. You know, it's like here, because the thing is this, it's just going to be somebody else. I feel like that all you did was give people a reason to show support to Trump, and, you know, and that's what I mean by like killing off, because even when people were trying to assassinate Trump, I feel like that was just going to do more damage than to the country than helping it. You know, yeah, it's like the presidential election, it would have been passed along to Kamala Harris, but I feel like Kamala Harris would have been put in danger. Probably would have been a thing where she could never really, like, anytime she had to have traveled, she had to travel with like the maximum amount of security. She probably wouldn't be traveling around doing as much. You know, it's like, if so, it's like you gotta just like really just pop out of nowhere and things. But yeah, it definitely would have did more damage to this country. I feel like Trump supporters would have tore this country apart if Trump would have got killed that first time when that guy was trying to assassinate him at his rally. You know, and then even the second time where he was at, it was like, I think he was at a golf course, or I don't know if it was his own personal golf course or one that he just goes to, but either way, it's like, yeah, if any of those assassination attempts would have been successful, that would have did more damage to this country than good. You know, yeah, it's like Trump, people that are not Trump supporters, they're gonna be happy. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, we ain't gotta like worry about this guy. Me, on the other hand, I'm not a Trump supporter, but at the same time, I don't want to watch a person die. I don't want to see a person die. I don't want to hear about a person dying because, like, oh, their words. You know, and at the end of the day, yeah, Trump, he may be a lost cause. His mind might already be made up on all the stuff that he's saying and doing and things, you know, but Charlie Kirk, on the other hand, he was just a few years older than me. He was born in 1993. And I'm over here thinking to myself, like, this man had time to grow. He had time to, because, you know, you see how, like Robert Kennedy Jr., for an example. Yeah, it's like you see where he comes from a Democrat family, and now all of a sudden he's a Republican. And that's the thing, where it's like, that could have been the same situation for Charlie Kirk. It's just in reverse, where it's like he realizes that there was no good in the Republican Party at all, and then he ends up becoming a Democrat or whatever, and he realizes the mistakes and all the different things that he had said and did. And that's the thing, where it's like, we'll never know that. We'll never know if this man would have ever changed or not, because somebody decided to take his life. And I'm like, fam, look, you don't have to like this guy, but throwing your life away because you don't like this guy, does that make any sense? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, people allow themselves to get so angry and then they do crazy stuff like that. And it's like, fam, now you wonder why you're in the situation that you're in. You know, there's people out there that just don't really care about their well-beings. It's like, okay, you might not care about your well-beings. You might not care about your life. But Charlie Kirk, pretty sure he cared about his life. His family, his friends, and I think there was like, what, he had 2 kids? I'm pretty sure. And that's what I had said in the when I did the video, was that I don't know if he would have changed, he would have, but we never would have known. But the thing is this though, I feel like when you bring kids up in the world, is that kids, they're going to like when they're developing their mindset and all that stuff, like you don't really know what friends. Yeah, I guess like if you live in a Republican area, then yeah, that's like they probably might grow up a Republican. But even then, it's like still, you know, they're gonna get involved in the internet. They're gonna explore a little bit, and then if they see the hatred that their dad is putting out there, I feel like they would sit down and talk with their dad and be like, hey, you gotta stop. Like, you can't do this no more. You know, it's like you're putting us at risk. Because what if it had been his family? You know, and that's the thing where I'm all like, that's, I don't think people realize like how dark that type of stuff can get. But I'm like, I definitely do think that if it would have been like, that's the thing, it's just going to, it doesn't matter whether it's Trump or Trump's family, Charlie Kirk or his family, who else, like anybody in that just Trump circle, whether it's them, the main person, or their family, anybody from that side, getting killed, it's just going to do more damage than good. So that's why I'm like, fam, people, it's like you got to sit down and think about these things before you just go through with them, you know, because he didn't deserve to get killed, you know. And it's like, again, like sitting down watching that video, I'm like, that video is traumatizing. That's one of those things where I'm all like, that it happened 2 days ago and that video is still like running through my head. That's how bad it is. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I don't like when things like that be running through my head, because it's like now I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how can I get this stuff out of my head? Like, how can I stop thinking about this? You know, because, man, it's stuff like that where I'm like, I ain't never hated a person that much. I don't think I ever will. I just ain't got it in my heart to hate people like that. You know, like, yeah, and the thing is this, I might not like a person may stress me out. People ask me, oh, how do you feel about this? I'm like, yeah, like if somebody were to ask me, how do I feel about Trump? Don't like him. No, I don't like anything that he stands for. I don't like the way that he looked, the way that he talked, everything about him is whack, bro. Like, I'm not feeling anything that Trump is saying. But if somebody was like, you have the opportunity to like end all of this and things and take Trump out and throw my life away, why would I do that? Even if it was on some stuff where I'm like, my life is not being thrown away. Like, let's say, like, if it's some stuff where I guess if he's putting somebody's life in danger and then I have to, then I have to. But my thing is this, if that's not the case and all he's just saying is make America great again, oh, the China this, Mexico that, illegal immigrants this, you know, that, and then look, it's one of those things where I'm like, I would rather fight him with words. I would rather take him down with words. I feel like that's much more better than doing something that I'm going to regret later on in life, you know. So I'm in my like 30th 40th year in prison, and I'm like, dang, bro, I shouldn't have did what I did. You know, I probably would have had kids. I probably would have, you know, been doing this. I've been doing that. No, instead, I'm sitting in prison for the rest of my life, or sitting on death row, however that situation may go and things. You know, I'm going through that, or if not that, and then it's like soon after, because I know with that first guy that tried killing Trump, he ended up getting shot and killed. So it's like you go through that stuff, and it's like at the end of the day, that guy that was trying to that did kill Charlie Kirk, how would he have known if that he had like a direct hit and all this other stuff? Like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, security definitely needs to be up. But yeah, overall though, it's like I just think that, you know, if I had anything to say to him talking to, like, you know, Charlie Kirk, it's like, yeah, it's like you gotta pick and choose like who you align yourself with, pick and choose what you say. You know, because yeah, stuff like that, it's like the things that you say and do, it's like it is going to have consequences. You know, you are going to have people out there where they just flat out crazy, and then yeah, they're going to do what that guy did and stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, rest in peace to him. Like, I understand he did say some Charlie Kirk did say some crazy things. Like, he was talking on like Black America in like the 40s and slavery and all that stuff, talking about black crime rate was low. And it's like, you, for one, don't ever in your life speak on black people again. You don't know nothing about black people and about what we were. And it's like, there's history books, there's movies, there's TV shows, there's documentaries where they literally talk on Black America in the 40s and slavery and how Black America was. It wasn't good. It was never good. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, yeah, maybe he might have been a secret racist, you know. And yeah, let's say if it was the other way around, where I went through what he went through, he probably wouldn't have did nothing defending me, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's stuff like that where it's just, you know, like the mindset that I have, where I'm like, that's the mindset that people need to have. You know, don't fight a person like, oh, they're fighting you with words and then you're fighting them with a gun. That's not a fair fight. Also fight them with words. So that's what I'm like, and that's the thing, you gotta sit down and think about it too. It's like, this guy, whoever this guy is that killed Charlie Kirk, you could have had an opportunity to sit down across from him, have a debate with him, and then you beat him in the debate. And it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like that is the best type of victory that you can get. Like, sit down debating somebody where they got their mind made up, but you beat them in that debate, where it's like you pretty much make a fool out of them. What was wrong with that? You know, and it's like, at least my thing is this, at least Charlie Kirk could have still been alive with his wife, with his kids, living his life. You know, but instead it's like his family and friends are planning his funeral. I think stuff like that is just, it's crazy. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, and peace.